Boston, snow and ice all over the ground, all your gates are full and you can't get an aircraft into the gate, and it gets stuck out there for an hour or two. The problem with that is primarily is that your pilot's probably going to time out if they're late into their block or something like that. So if they time out and they had another flight to operate, now they can't.
Yeah.
If we see this coming with a simulator and we sort of get a long look, we can reposition flight crews in Boston to be fresh to take that next flight.
Reserves or something need to come in.
But if you're reactive and you don't see that happening until it happens, it takes a long time to pull a pilot out of reserves and stick them in the airport.
Yeah.
That takes hours.
Yeah.
So what we can do is we can sort of adjust this upwards and start to load our system up with reserves in the places we need them to be. A little of that's good, but if you watch down here, too much of that is not good, because once you start putting your flight crews on reserve, then you're using them up and they may not be available tomorrow if the winter event persists.
Right.
So if you just keep going with that, it's pretty bad. It puts you in the red in terms of exhaustion. So I'm going to back off on that. Airport staff is something else you can control. That's another one that it's generally a good idea when you're in a bad situation. Those are the folks that de-ice the aircraft, put gas in it, put water in it, line maintenance, gate, you get it. all of those different functions. And by putting more staff in the airport, from a customer's perspective, when things are chaotic and delays and cancels are occurring, you kind of want to be able to go up to somebody and say, look, I don't know what's going on, but can you help me with this?
Right.
Am I going to be okay?
Yeah.
So we'll load a lot of what we call red coats in our staff.
And do you communicate that out via like Nomad or something like that yet?
Internally or to customers?
To the employees internally.
Yeah, we have a system called Flight Family that allows below wing and in-terminal staff to talk to each other, above wing staff and stuff. So that's pretty good. But we'll also just, the station manager will call them up and say, hey, get to the airport, we need some help. And then they're in uniform, so as a customer you can see them and just walk up to them and say, I need some help.
Cool.
So there's that. And by having those extra staff, especially below wing, you can get your delay minutes down, because when it's chaotic and you don't know which aircraft is coming and going, and you might miss that fuel up or something like that. And it's just really important to have a lot of folks. And then lastly, we try to be a no-cancel airline. Mm-hmm. We do a pretty good job with cancels.
Getting better.
I may say so myself. Yeah. But sometimes you simply can't operate the aircraft.
Yeah.
So this sort of reflects a more aggressive cancellation policy, where you're doing it 4 or 6 hours in advance. Mm-hmm. The pros to that is I tell you about that before you've left your house, put the bags in the car and go to the airport. The downside is that we probably will cancel too many flights, because it's so far out in the future. Mm-hmm. It's imprecise as to how many flights you actually do need to cancel.
And based on the weather that you know. Yeah. And is your like prediction window 12 hours in advance, 6 hours, or what's your normal?
Yeah, we actually have multiple prediction windows, but the question is, how far out do you actually feel confident to make a decision? Yeah. So I give you a 12-hour forecast, but I may not believe that I should hit it enough to go cancel your flights. Yeah. So that's sort of
that's cool.
That's squishy ground, but then you can also do the pre-event, which is the exact opposite, meaning that I'll probably cancel exactly the right number of flights, because I've gotten right up to the flight time. Yeah. The downside is that you're finding out about your cancel in the terminal. Yeah. Nobody likes that. No. So it's a delicate balance that the operations folks are trying to walk, they're trying to perform, and a tool like this hopefully gives them enough of a heads up that they can feel confident to make decisions further out when they actually have time to act. So some of our optimizers, for example, are more effective at the 3 to 4 hour mark than they are in the less than 2 hour window. Yeah. So some of our optimizers and our prediction tools need a little extra time. Obviously, pilots and flight attendants need time to get to the airport. So you've got a few hours that you really need to buy yourself, and this tool does that for us.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. You want to hold it up? Yeah. Bring it down. Excuse me, sir.
All right, here's your boarding pass. Going to have you wait right here against this blue wall. Hi there.
Hi there.
First name for me, please. And where to fly to today? And a language other than English. Great.
One individual behind each podium.
Great. And if you'll stand behind the hold on to your boarding pass, we're going to use that for the next room. Right now, I'd like you to look at this.
Did you sign in for the thing?
Yeah, he told me to come over.
I think you got to go check in with that guy over
You
there.
should get one. We can do whatever you like in this case, but basically this is parallel reality. This is presented by Delta Airlines, created by Missile Life Sciences. It's the first time seeing outside of the box. Now, what I'd like to do is actually put this together and call it Seoul, and what's this? Paris, and what's this?
Mexico City.
So you're all standing in a slightly different spot, seeing something completely different at the same time. Right? So if you go ahead and switch around, you'll be able to see the different spots and views as you move.
Oh, I'm going to Tokyo now.
And this is showing you
Be
this
Paris.
all occurring simultaneously. Take a peek. It's all software defined. So this is software defined based upon the geography and showing you how the technology works. Go ahead and come back around here. Turn around and look at behind you. What you're going to see is actually a grid of 12 mirrors. Now there's nothing special about these mirrors. Actually, as you move into the middle, you will see that these are actually occurring simultaneously. Right? So it's not that we're switching the display back and forth, but this is all powered off of that one display, simultaneously occurring. Now we could have gone up to 100 different views off of this one display. We just kept it simple, kept 12 mirrors, not 100. So
What's
that way
the
we'll be able to see.
resolution of this display here?
You know, there's actually a technical SME on the outside that can tell you.
Thank you.
Yep.
So that's cool. So yeah, it's projecting 12 different images.
That's right, at this time. But I can go up to 100.
If I was to go back there and how is that the bottom one being displayed?
So this is showing how it works at the high end.
Yeah.
But if you did go back there and move around, you would be able to see
Okay.
it. Because right now it's not tying into exactly who you are.
Yeah.
But in the airport environment, we would actually tie it to who you are as well, right? And that's what you see in this next spot.
Okay.
Ready? Great.
Okay.
So,
How many realities can you?
This is kind of the pixel density that we're using. In future generations, we will have denser pixels and better resolution.
So exactly that screen supports 100 reality.
Yes.
I heard.
That's exactly right. So this can simultaneously show 100 different views.
So on one side of the screen. So depending on the angle, right?
Yeah, so like in an environment like this, within the viewing range of the display, 100 people can look at it and each see different content. If there were more than 100 people, one of those 100 versions could just be generic content, so everybody else would just see it as a normal display.
My wife and I tried to overlap each other.
Yes.
And then it was kind of confused.
Yes. So in order to make this system work, because you're moving around kind of fast, we make the viewing zone big enough that you can kind of move your head back and forth and still see your content. So then if somebody does something like that, moves within that range, they can see your content. We left that capability here because it's fun for people to see that other people are seeing something different. In an airport or some other environment, you can make changes or adjustments. So if the camera sees people are getting too close, you would go to maybe generic content. You might say, can you stand a little further apart? Or you might just go to a normal sign. So there are ways that you can take care of that. And you can kind of, as time goes on, we'll understand just how tight or narrow viewing is required for a person so they don't quickly kind of
So the
lose them.
camera keeps track of each of the people, and then, so the capturing starts when we scan the boarding pass?
That's right.
Okay.
So as soon as you scan in, the camera acquires you. It looks on you like you're just a shape, but you've been tagged. That shape's been tagged with the information on your boarding pass. It could be a boarding pass, or maybe you just say you want all your sites to be in Portuguese, so you indicate you don't give me anything. And then as that object is moving around, the display knows to send that type of content to that object. Once you go out of the range of the camera, it doesn't know who you are anymore, so you have to choose to read that image. It can be used with other tracking technologies, that doesn't matter. You could choose to connect a whole bunch of these, so it does keep tracking you all the way through a theme park or any sort of environment.
Anything special to the camera?
No, the cameras are just off the shelf. They could be any tracking based cameras. Sure.
So you mentioned that the fixed display of the resolution now. What is the approximate resolution? How many pixels is it?
So I can't remember.
Okay, yeah. But the goal is,
as you see.
yeah, is and how far along are you on in the prototyping phase? I mean, you're going to test. Is this what you're going to test?
Yeah.
in
So
Detroit?
this is the first time it's been shown outside of our lab.
Yeah.
But this is the system that's going to go into Detroit this summer.
Yeah.
We are simultaneously working on the next generation of displays, and they'll probably be out in about a year.
Yeah. And
they will have higher pixel density.
Yeah.
The bezels are going to be reduced, and the color is going to be enriched.
And these are the two main components of this. I mean, and you probably have a processing
So our
power.
system or capability is that display, and it can be paired with any tracking technology. Or in the first place, did you get to go through this?
Yeah.
In the first place, it's just purely location based.
Right.
So you don't need
Yeah.
to track. You just determine what kind of content you want to see different zones.
Okay. Cool.